Sorry about that. Was I on mute? I was on mute. How long have I been live? How long have I been live? For 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't think that's too long. I'm going to keep going. If y'all don't mind, I'm going to keep going. All right, welcome back. I'm back. And sorry about that. I was on mute the first 2.5 minutes, but I'm here. I'll leave a timestamp in the description box. But I want to deal with a few stories. But as I deal with these stories, I want the backdrop to be, and I want people to stay mindful that nobody can send us on a guilt trip for hating dogs. A lot of dog lovers like to do that. This is their favorite go-to, especially with me, and especially when they find out I'm not an atheist. For whatever reason, a lot of people assume that I'm an atheist. I don't know if using the word hate is common with atheists or what, but a lot of atheists are attracted to the channel. But I'm not an atheist. So when the dog lovers come around, they see I'm not atheist. They're like, oh, I can use the God thing with them. Hey, buddy, these are God's creatures. Shame on you. No, that's not going to work, dog lovers. That don't work with me. And most likely it's not going to work with anybody else. Okay? Most anti-dog people understand that dogs are not natural animals and that they're not even supposed to exist. I can understand you saying that about an animal group that's been here millions of years like all the other natural animals. You can't say that about dogs. Now, why do I say this? Me checking out a few stories upset me. And I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to show you how the exact order that I ran into these stories. First, I ran into this one. And I think I saw this for the first time yesterday. This story is what I'm talking about a cop in Iowa who shot 3 dogs. The Washington Times came out and just said, Iowa cop shoots 3 dogs to stop their attack on a woman. Okay, so they don't share much information. It's a short article. So I looked at it and I said, I'm not going to talk about this. Okay, you see, all it says, police officer stopped 3 dogs attacking a woman, shooting them dead. Now, think about that. The cop had to shoot all 3 dogs and had to kill all 3. A lot of times when you fire a gun, dogs will stop attacking. They will cease attacking and run away. So this gives you an idea of what type of dogs they were. A local resident heard a cry for help and called the police department around 11:25 a.m. 11:25 a.m. An officer arrived to find the attack still in progress. Hey, again, gives you an idea what type of dogs these are. And, that's just a fact. The dogs that were bred for fighting usually don't stop. That's just a fact. After attempts to scare the dogs off, the cop couldn't scare them off, so the cop shot him. Okay? They said the victim suffered serious injuries, taken by ambulance, and then needed to be airlifted to a second. So she was badly tore up. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait until more details about this story comes out. Because right now there's no information. They're hiding it for a reason. And I still think they're hiding her information for a reason, like they do all the time. Then I ran across this media outlet. And this one, not this one. Wait a minute. Not this one. This one. A different media outlet that covered the same story. They had a little broadcast. Now listen to this. Okay, this is about the same story. The 3 dogs that were shot by the cop. Listen to this.
People in a Fort Dodge neighborhood are shaken after a vicious dog attack. Fort Dodge police say 3 dogs attacked and seriously injured a woman on the 800 block of South 16th Street this morning. KCCI's Pepper Papura talked to a person who saw police take down those animals.
Screams and shrieks drew officers to this neighborhood in Fort Dodge. To find a dog attack so vicious, the victim had to be life-flighted back to a Des Moines hospital. A woman severely injured and 3 dogs killed.
Okay, the first hospital they went to wasn't sufficient enough. She was so torn up, the hospital said, hey, take her to a different hospital. That only happens when the injuries are very bad.
3 dogs killed.
Super sad, it is.
Now, he just said that it's super sad. When I first heard this, I thought he was talking about the woman. And that it was sad that she was so badly attacked. But you decide if he's talking about the woman.
Dogs killed.
Super sad, it is.
Police say 3 dogs attacked a woman on this street before noon Friday. After trying to stop the attack by scaring the animals away, police say the dogs would not stop. The officer on scene shot and killed the animals. Kerry Johnson says he was in a neighborhood home when police arrived.
When I had heard the gunshots, I came outside originally, and I had saw police with his gun drawn. He had said for me to go inside, and I did go inside. But after a couple moments, I was like, well, my curiosity is piqued. Let's go ahead and step out here. And, I did. I stepped out into the driveway just to take a peek. I had saw a black dog lying down on the ground, deceased, which is super sad.
So you heard that. He said seeing the dog dead is what was sad. I saw a dead dog, and that was super sad. Why was it sad? When that dog was killed, because it was killing a woman. It's not sad to have seen that dog dead. You should have felt relieved. You should have been happy. Nothing sad about that. You should have been happy. You should have been the opposite of what you were. You see? That's how I know the current world, this is Aleister Crowley's world. It belongs to Crowley. It's Crowley influence because everybody is backwards. Here you got a killer that was killing a person. The dog killing a woman. He came out and saw the dog dead, and instead of saying, oh, thank goodness. Oh, how he said it was sad to have seen the dead dog. More proof that they worship these things. So after their God is killed, no matter what the dog did, they're still sad that it died.
I had saw a black dog lying down on the ground, deceased, which is super sad. I don't know what happened to the lady, but I know that somebody had gotten pulled off in a stretcher. I saw that.
A different neighbor says the dogs belonged to them and was visibly upset when speaking with us.
The dogs belong to a neighbor. Now, I've said for years, dog lovers, especially the owners of large dogs like this, all owners of all bully breeds, German Shepherds, large dogs, these are the most dangerous types of people in communities. They're the worst types of people to have as neighbors. They're the worst types of people, period, to have in your community. And it's because of things like this. This woman is now permanently disfigured, and she could still possibly die. Life totally transformed. And this is the norm for communities with dog lovers in them. They ruin community. These are the worst types of people in communities. That's a fact. And they're the worst types of people because they have these dogs. If they didn't have the dogs, there would be no problem. Okay, so this ain't not hate speech. It's not a personal attack. This is an attack on killers. Don't tell me that I'm not allowed to speak against killers.
The victim, whose name is not being released at this time.
Name is not being released. Why? Why? I don't like that. I don't like that. Release the name, man.
Was taken by life flight to Iowa Methodist Medical Center in Des Moines to treat her injuries. Her condition is unknown. Police say they're trying to find out what led up to the dog attack.
What led up to the dog attack? Like, what could you discover that would make the dog attack acceptable? There's no reason to look into something like this. The dogs are dead. The woman is in a hospital. Why are you doing an investigation? But they have to do it because dogs are their deities, their gods. Here in the United States, the national religion is dog worship. The national religion is dog worship. Okay, that's their symbol of worship, dogs. So this joker sat up here and said that it was sad to see this dog dead. And it's sad that we got people in society that would say stuff like that. That it's sad that the dog is dead. No, it's not. It's not saddening. It's not sad. I'm not sad. The dogs are dead. 3 of them. I'm happy. Happy. That's, people should celebrate when things like this happen. They shouldn't feel sad. Y'all cut that out. Now, this is another story that surfaced today that made me upset. Not today, a few days ago. Mother of 4-year-old who was killed by dog on Halloween seeks justice. Now, when I read the headline, I'm like, okay, let me see what the mother has to say. I always keep up with what the parents have to say after stuff like this happen. Especially a fatality. And this kid was killed on Halloween. Okay. So this mother, and this is horrible. This is a horrible story. Y'all remember the boy was killed on Halloween. His name was Colton Klein. Colton Michael Klein. Attacked by the family's dog. Y'all remember that it was the family dog. However, they later discovered that the dog belonged to the boyfriend of the child's grandmother. The dog belonged to the boyfriend of the child's grandmother. His name was Dustin Block. 48-year-old named Dustin Block. Okay? And it was the family who confirmed that Dustin Block is the boyfriend of the child's grandmother. So it really wasn't a family dog. Like, the dog didn't live at that residence. At least that's how I understand this. Maybe the boyfriend, maybe he lived there. But the guy, the owner of the dog, is being held in jail because they found out that this man was already facing charges for voyeurism. And this is why I didn't like this story, because they seem to try to make his previous charges the focal point of the story. The owner of the dog was already facing charges for voyeurism and possession of illegal videos and images that you see here that I'm not going to repeat. The initials for the videos is CP. Okay, CP. They found CP in his home. So he was not supposed to be in contact with anybody under the age of 18. This man. Okay? Remember, the boy was only 4 years old. Think about that now. This joker was facing charges of voyeurism and being in possession of CP, and the mother left the boy at this residence. Think about that. Now, it gets worse. That boy wasn't supposed to be there. But she left him there anyways. According to the records, a thumb drive was found in this man's house in 2021 with pictures, CP pictures, and the pictures included Mr. Block himself doing things. Crazy story. Because his hand would be in some of these photos, and he would be doing illegal, sick things with his hands. Now, this took place, the allegations, the actions took place 2015. The victim was only 15 at the time. So they're bringing a lot of attention to this case that he had where, a child shouldn't have been at that home in the first place. And it's a 4-year-old child. Now, the court documents said that this man, Mr. Block, he told police that the boy, the 4-year-old, was staying at his home about 5 to 6 times every other week, violating the order saying that he should not be in contact with anyone under 18. How did that happen? And look at how easy it is to break a court rule like that. Judge say you're not to be in contact with anyone under 18. Okay. And then you can go home and into a home full of, people under 18. You can't enforce that. And why didn't the mother know? Why didn't the mother know? Now, I know people are saying, hey, take it easy on her. She lost her child. The 4-year-old was killed. But I'm asking simple, harmless, fair questions. How could she have not been aware of this information on this man? Okay, that's troubling. But anyways, he's still locked up. Let's get to the mother. The mother, her name is Peyton Venz. Peyton Venz. She said that the recent news that outlines the charges against Dustin Block was absolutely devastating to hear. And she says she had no idea this man was being charged with all this stuff. Now this tells me that man was living there. Because it sounded like she knew that he lived there and she knew his dog was there. Okay? Says she had no idea that he was facing these charges. She continued to say that had she been informed about all of this stuff, that her 4-year-old son under no circumstances would have been there. She said, I hope that Dustin is charged to the fullest extent of the law. She said further, listen to this now. She said further, I never seen or known of any aggressive behavior by the dog who took my son. Nor was I aware that Dustin had been drinking that night, seeing that I left Colton in the care of my mother, who was verifiably completely sober that night. So she left her 4-year-old with her mother, who was an alcoholic. who at least obviously drank sometimes, or else she wouldn't have made that statement. She clarified that her mother was sober when she left her kid. Okay, but there was also a man there. So you knew that there was some man there who was the boyfriend of the grandmother. That was your mother's boyfriend. She can't claim to have not known that her mother's boyfriend was there. And she had to have known her mother's boyfriend owned a dog. Okay, let's get that clear. Let's continue. Look at this. But wait a minute. She said, I had never seen or known of any aggressive behavior by the dog who took my son. But she knew that the dog was there. So she knew that it could have happened. She was aware of the threat. And she took the chance anyways. But look at what she said. Colton, which is her son, her deceased son. She said Colton was failed that night by the adults present that were to care for him. She said, I was deceived into believing that my son was in a safe place while I took care of a personal medical emergency. Thank you to the Spokane community for your kind words and prayers. Please join me now to fight for justice for Colton. He did not deserve this. The family set up a GoFundMe for funeral costs. People, this is exactly what I've been talking about. Now, first things first, she did know that her child could be attacked and killed by a dog. That much she knew. Can't claim to have not known that this was possible. You knew the dog had teeth. You know what a dog is. And you took the chance. But she's not liable. She's not arrested. Instead, she's free and has a GoFundMe set up. Look at the pattern. Look at the trend here. Kids end up dying. Nothing happens to the parent. And the parent ends up collecting a bunch of money. How much do you think it costs to cremate a 4-year-old? How much do you think it costs to cremate a 4-year-old? I can tell you now, it costs, I would say, between $2,000 and $5,000 to cremate a 4-year-old. Okay? How much do you think a funeral for a child costs? Do they ever share whether or not the parents of these slain children are actually buried or cremated? Isn't it up to the parents whether or not they want to have an official funeral or cremation? Now, I want y'all to look up their GoFundMe. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and share it with y'all now. The GoFundMe for this boy who was killed. There's a link right here. Now, when you click it, I'm going to go through this fast because I don't want to show the boy. Watch this. They set the goal for $10,000. They've already raised $12,760. Okay. I'm telling you now, a funeral for a child don't cost that much money. And a cremation definitely don't cost that much money. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. For a funeral, for a 4-year-old, I'm more thinking that's around the $5,000 area. $6,000. But why would, let me ask the question like this. If you have $13,000 sitting up in a GoFundMe, and it's all money for you, what would you do? Would you pay $7,000 for a funeral? Or would you, wait a minute, let's look at this. Or would you pay $2,000-$3,000 for cremation and keep the rest of the money and keep $10,000? And understand, they just started this GoFundMe. This thing might reach $50,000. You only got a $4,000-$5,000 funeral or a $2,000-$3,000 cremation. A lot of people would say, jackpot. It was worth it. You got people who would look at it that way. And then if they get down hard on their luck again, just do it again. Okay, we just got all this money. Let's have another baby right now. Couple years from now, you get low on your money, another accident happened. Nothing happened to the parents. And understand, they have so many ways that they could set this up. They could drop their kid off anywhere and just make an agreement with the people they leave their kids with. Like, hey, such and such, GoFundMe, use this room, use this dog. No, I don't trust that at all. Don't trust that at all. I don't trust none of this. We're living in an era where people are more heartless than they've ever been. Ever been. This is horrible. For her to say I've never seen or known of any aggressive behavior by the dog who took my son. But I did know that I left my son with a giant killer. And I just took the chance anyways. Okay, the law's gonna have to start cracking down on the dog culture. Society in general is gonna have to start paying closer attention to dog culture. This is not a game. Y'all trying to keep this little sick culture under the radar. It's not gonna stay under the radar. These deranged mutants that y'all always making excuses for. Look at this. I told y'all, I mentioned this story a couple days ago. It actually surfaced a few days ago. Where this one dog, bit 29 people and it tests positive for rabies. One dog going around biting people, test positive for rabies. And y'all actually got a law saying you can't touch them? So there's going to be a global backlash against dogs. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. A global backlash. Another thing I wanted to deal with is this right here. That really upset me. Every pro-dog article upsets me. This was a little more than usual. Oh. Okay. This is about these worthless mutts being put down. You're going to want to hear the music too. You see that? XL bully who faces uncertain future. Now look at that. Look at how big this dog is. They're trying to play this little goofy music for this ridiculously cartoonishly large beast killer that's pulling this woman. And notice, look at her leash. Notice how she has to have it latched on to do 2 different spots on the dog's body. That thing can still drag her. So foolish. Again, they can't even demonstrate their own ability to control these things. Look at that. Look at the food obsession in this demonic mutant's eyes. They lose their whole worthless, raggedy mind for food. I hate the gluttony on these demonic creatures. Oh my goodness, I hope this disease just wipes them all out. Look at the raggedy, obsessed, mutant demon face on this monster. That is disgusting. This thing is such a mutant. Its skin is so excess. Its skin flops and flaps around. Thing tries to eat and its skin is hanging and dragging and flopping across the floor. That is disgusting and immoral. Get rid of these things. How dare you? Shame on you people. Manipulating its food obsession. Yeah, it's obsessed with food. We know that. Like, why are they even showing us this? And that's pathetic.
When the law comes into effect, those who cannot be rehomed, unfortunately, are going to have to be put to sleep. We believe in
Good.
Walter's right to life, and we are fighting for his second chance.
What?
We have to be put to sleep. We believe in Walter's right to life, and we are fighting.
No, these killers don't have a right to life. No, they don't have a right to life. They would have been wiped out long time ago had we let nature take its course. You don't tell nature what creatures have the right to live and which ones don't. Nature decide that. So no, stop it.
Have to be put to sleep. We believe in Walter's right to life, and we are fighting for his second chance in the short window of time that we have. Unfortunately, I'm not exactly sure how my staff and volunteers will face it, but if we don't find him a second home before the law comes into effect, Walter will lose his life.
Good. Why you playing the soft piano, the sad piano, as if we supposed to be sad? Good. Y'all should put him down now. I don't even know what y'all waiting on. What's this grace period for? You should have taken them all out already, along with all the rest of the bully breeds. Nobody feels sorry for these things. Are you crying? Is she crying? She crying for the dogs, the killers. Okay? That says a lot right there. Boy, the blood of the slain cries out from the ground against you, woman. What are you crying for? Yeah, they won't have a chance to kill anymore. You're sad about that, huh?
Walter will lose his life.
What about the people who've already lost their life? You see, defending these things, don't defend these things. It makes you a dirt bag. A dirt bag. You're defending killers. They have no problem with killing. The one that includes that mutt you're talking about right now. And when they kill, they don't have no remorse. What is wrong with you? You silly, silly woman. If there's anything that you should not cry about, if it dies, it's dogs. No matter what breed it is, but especially if it's a bully breed. You silly, silly woman. Okay? Makes me wonder what she's really doing. What's really going on between you and these dogs? Huh? Stop it. Now check this joker out. This worthless, hideous, good-for-nothing mutt. This dog was abandoned 1 week ago and brought to the pound. So I understand it was just abandoned. Somebody just dropped it off. They said that's happening a lot over there in the UK. People tie the dog to something or drop it off and they leave it. Okay? But listen to this.
Ideally, she is going to take a lot of work.
Ideally, this dog is going to take a lot of work. What? What are you talking about? But listen to what she says. Ideally, this dog's going to take a lot of work.
Ideally, she is going to take a lot of work. Whatever she's gone through, she's had a traumatic time.
Whatever she's gone through, she's had a trauma. She's saying this dog has been traumatized, and she don't know nothing about the dog at all. But she's assuming that it's been traumatized, that it's been done wrong by some evil people somewhere. Oh, yes, she is. That's exactly what she's doing. That's the dog lover thing to do. It's so bizarre. But I told you, they try to force fantasy as reality. Fantasy as reality.
Ideally, she is going to take a lot of work. Whatever she's gone through, she's had a traumatic time. You can tell that just with how she is.
You can tell that just with how she is. No, you can't. No, you can't. What are you talking about? It's not attacking you, is it? Because usually they will say that if the dog is acting aggressively, they say those dogs have been traumatized. See, if it was acting aggressively, she would say, oh, it's been traumatized. That's why it's acting aggressive. It's afraid. It doesn't trust us because some people somewhere did it wrong. They did it wrong. That's why it's aggressive. But now when they see one that's calm and not attacking nobody, she's still saying it's traumatized. Based on what, ma'am? What you basing that on? It shows you it's just their thing to say that dogs have been wronged, mistreated, and traumatized by some person somewhere. That's just a part of their goofy, brainless culture.
She's had a traumatic time. You can tell that just with how she is. What's up? I do believe she has been brought in for the ban.
She said, I do believe that this dog has been brought in because of the ban. So all she knows is that somebody abandoned it. They tied it up, left it somewhere, and just left it. And she has whipped up, pulled out of thin air, an entire life story for the dog. Now she's filling us in on what the dog has gone through in its worthless, good-for-nothing life. Pathetic. This is the norm with nutters. Nutters, they do nothing but lie and make stuff up. Lie, 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 lie. And I'm sick of it. Everybody is sick of your goofy nuttery. Goofy nuttery. Lying to the public. Lying to the people. Lying. Manipulating people. Deceiving people. Playing this stupid music and showing that dumb mutt looking dumb. Trying to make people feel sorry for that stupid killer.
Gone through. She's had a traumatic time. You can tell that just with how she is.
You know what? You put it out of its worthless, good-for-nothing misery. Then it won't be suffering. We won't have to listen to you telling us about its mythological history that you just magically know somehow. We won't have to listen to your stupid stories about how somebody did this worthless leech wrong, all this good for nothing life. It's not emaciated. So clearly whoever owned it was feeding it. All this good for nothing trash mutant has been doing its whole worthless life. It's leeching and begging, taking stuff that ain't don't belong to it, being a useless parasitic leech on our resources. You're better off just driving them into extinction. Enhance the quality of our life by getting rid of these disgusting demonic mutants.
What's up?
Look at that raggedy, saggy, dirt-faced mutant. I'm supposed to feel sad. You trying to make people feel, oh, look at it. I see a killer. I see a killer that sent several infants to the grave. Several toddlers to the, that's all I see. A killer that sent several kids to the grave. Several people who are not dog lovers to the grave. Several old people, grandparents who are not dog lovers to the grave. I have no sympathy for dog lovers who've been attacked by their own dogs. That's the one times that the dogs get it right. Y'all out here playing Russian roulette with your own lives, fine. The fact that you're playing Russian roulette with everybody else's life, we don't have to accept that. We don't have to accept that. It's a guy across the street, got this giant Rottweiler, bringing it outside every day, endangering people every day. And he waits until there's a bunch of people outside to bring that stupid dog out there, putting everybody in danger. If anybody is going to be attacked, I hope it's not the people outside minding their business, the kids playing, the people minding their business. I hope it's not them. If somebody's going to be attacked, it should be that stupid owner that owns it that's endangering everybody. So I have no sympathy for the nutters who get attacked by their own dogs. So this is a fail. This is a save it. Save your attempts to garner sympathy for these mutants.
I do believe she has been brought in for the ban. Guaranteed she has, you know, because at the end of the day, if not, an owner would have been here by now.
An owner would be in here by now if it wasn't dropped off because of the ban. Okay, so that doesn't prove that the owner mistreated it. So why are you accusing the owner of traumatizing and abusing this thing? You don't even know the owner, but this is what they do. And this is why the dog experts, they don't deserve respect, period. Because they're nothing but liars. Nothing but liars.
What's up?
Okay, now what was that supposed to prove? Y'all showing this mutt as if this is supposed to prove that it's not a killer? Like, they really believe that this is convincing. Seeing her rub on this dog and seeing the dog not attacking her. Oh, that means they're harmless. Is that the logic we dealing with today? No. This is how all of these mutants look. Right before and after they rip somebody's throat out. Just goofy. Goofy. And if y'all still doubt what I'm saying, there's a YouTube channel called Animal Shelter that specializes in stories like that. If you scroll through this channel, you won't find nothing but fantasy. Fantasy. Look at this. She cried and begged her owner to let her in. Huh? The disabled dog begged not to take him away. All through here, you see these people saying the dog begged. The dog cried. Look at this. The dog cried as he ran after his owner's car. Look at this. The village kids teased the dog with a deformed face. He ran away. Dumb mutt didn't even know that had a deformed face. Nothing but fantasy, lies, fantasy. That's all dog culture is about. Look, although chained, the pregnant dog begged to be saved, begged to save her partner. Dogs, we all know these things did not beg for nothing. Dogs don't beg for nothing. If you're talking about verbally, they'll beg for food, but they do it by licking your face and other dumb stuff like that. Getting up in your face when you got food, that's begging for food. But we know these mutts ain't begged. Oh, save my partner, save my puppy. And this whole entire channel is sharing videos like that, talking about these dogs begging and crying. Oh, the puppy looked on in despair as everyone walked by. That's literal. I just read that. The dog cried into the abyss with broken bones. Look at that. Cried into the abyss. Oh, the poor. So they make it a whole business to project dogs as victims of cruel people. Like, there's always people out here doing things to them and hating them and attacking them. Oh, the dog. Look at this. The scabies dog begged us to follow her. So the dog experts, channel hosts, they take advantage of the childlike mentality of dog lovers. And this is an example. Like, hey, watch me get a bunch of views from these airheaded nutters by saying stuff that ain't true, by lying. And they love it when you lie like that, because look at the views. Look at the views of these videos. He uploaded this, whoever this is, uploaded this video right here 17 hours ago, already got 74,000 views. 1 day ago, 41,000. Look at the views on these videos compared to when these videos was uploaded. These dog lovers swarm all over stuff like this. Look at this one. Uploaded 5 days ago, already got 382,000 views. Because a crippled mutt, she dumped it out and left it, abandoned it, because it had like 3 legs or something. And she left it and drove off. All the nutters, oh, it's so sad. And of course, they flood the comment section, making a bunch of evil threats to the person who rightfully got rid of the dog. And if they had any real sense, they'd get rid of all dogs and wouldn't acquire any more. But most of these people who abandon dogs, they still dog lovers, and they go out to get another dog, or they got multiple dogs already. But they make it a whole business of lying. Look at this. Dog cried into the abyss. Did I read it? Blind puppy chained for years collapsed after his owner passed away. Right? Oh my goodness. This is so pathetic. So pathetic. And it's very revealing. Shows what they think about, the overall intelligence of dog lovers. This is embarrassing stuff. Embarrassing stuff. If I got into stuff like this, I'd feel sorry for myself. Knowing that dogs don't beg or cry, I just got into imagining that they do. And they focus on these street stray mutts. Of course you're going to find them with dirt all over them. Look at this. But they always assume that some human did them wrong. And that's why they're outside dirty, emaciated. So pathetic. I just want you nutters to know. This stuff don't work on everybody. All your goofy little videos that you love showing the world, thinking that everybody is feeling sorry for these garbage, trash, mutant organisms. Not everybody. I don't feel nothing when I look at a raggedy, worthless mutt somewhere. I don't feel nothing because they're not supposed to be here in the first place. You let nature take its course, they will all be laid out somewhere. You think I'm going to be complaining then? What about when nature handles them and leaves them all laid out and emaciated? When that's nature taking its course, am I supposed to feel? No, I'm not going to feel sad. I'm going to kick back, grab a cup of tea, and listen to music. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw a party. Because no more dogs? Are you kidding? No more dogs on this planet? I'm celebrating. I'm inviting the Crusaders, and we're going to party. And I don't even party. I don't do stuff like that. But if all these dogs were to vanish, I'd be partying then. That's something to celebrate. You understand? When I see, like, if I were to go into a city and I saw nothing but a bunch of emaciated dogs, I'd feel relief. Because then I'd say, okay, well, I'm not going to get attacked. I'm not going to get attacked. I can go to the grocery store here. I can get out and get some gas. If these dogs were in good health, I'd be in danger. Okay, it wouldn't be safe for me to step outside this vehicle, right? Let's keep going. Let's go on to the next town. And I wouldn't stop until I came across a town where all the dogs were emaciated and laid out somewhere. So this don't make everybody sad. All you dog lovers, you're wrong. You're wrong for embracing their existence, maintaining their existence on this earth. Because they're not even supposed to be here. That's why there are a bunch of people who are happy when dogs are not around. More people than you think appreciate it when dogs are not present. Not present. And if the dumb, goofy, worthless mutants wasn't an abomination and an abnormality to this universe, you wouldn't find them dirty and emaciated everywhere. Because they would find food and take care of themselves just fine, just like all the natural animals of the earth. It is because they are an abomination, a trash, nothing but filth and spit in the eye of the Creator. That's why you find them laid out. A lot of them you find emaciated. They're emaciated because they're too dumb to find food. Too dumb and too worthless and too much of a mutant that has been fed their whole worthless lives. So that's my reaction in response to this goofy, worthless channel. And boy, this channel got under my skin because it's so obvious what they're playing on. Just committed to playing on the emotions of a certain type of dog lovers. It's beyond pathetic. Well, there's a lot of people. What are y'all doing up? Oh, this is the weekend. This is the weekend. It is Sunday already. Well, Saturday night, Sunday, whatever. That went by fast. But we got one more month to go until the glorious Christmas break. Most definitely, I'm ready for that. I am ready for that. Oh, I got other stuff to do. I got other videos to produce that I almost forgot about. I'm getting carried away over here. I didn't mean for this video to be this long. My apologies. How y'all doing this weekend? Hope y'all doing good. Shout out to Jeannie up in the house. I hate mutts up in here. I need to get caught up on my Twitter, so bear with me there. Caught up on my emails, bear with me there. If anybody sent something. Also, some people sent some. I'll get to the shout outs on the next video. Oh, I keep forgetting it. Shout out to Kayama up in the house. We're on dogs up in here. Shar up in here. What's going on? Y'all should be in bed. Y'all not supposed to be up this late. Yeah, y'all misbehaving. Atlas up in the house. What's going on, everybody? It is the weekend. It's Saturday night, man. Time to kick back and enjoy some videos. What is going on with YouTube content creators? Like, they're either not creating any content at all, or the content they create they don't put anything into it. It's real short and they're not hardly saying nothing. It's like content creators are like running out of stuff to produce content about, and it's terrible. I don't know if it's just the people I'm subscribed to. Maybe it is. Maybe I need more channels to subscribe to. If y'all know of any good channels, interesting channels, please share them with me. I'm on the hunt looking for more channels to subscribe to because nobody's producing content. And I'm telling you now, one of the reasons that I produce content sometime is because ain't nobody else producing nothing. Nobody else producing nothing. Y'all got to get on y'all's job, man. It's not that hard. But shout out to all the content creators. They keep me going. They keep me going. I get a lot of inspiration. Like, I can't produce content myself unless I spend a number of hours listening to other content creators. You know, I always have that student inside me. Always got that student inside me. But shout out to everybody. And don't be surprised if I pop up here and there. And I won't announce these live streams this weekend. Just a heads up. Hopefully you'll be able to join me as we continue with this crusade.